everyone, my name is Amber.
I'm Powder.
My name is Mimi. Today we are going to talk about hidden exploitation of fast fashion. Think about all the clothes you have bought this year. How many of them came from stores such as H&M, Zara, Shein, or other convenient and inexpensive online clothing websites?
Nowadays, people enjoy buying clothes from fast fashion because they are affordable, convenient, and even consistently follow the latest trends. However,
Although fast fashion may seem like a convenient, affordable way to stay fashionable, but the reality is that it hides serious social and environmental consequences behind mass production and low cost.
We have all bought cheap clothes that we only wear a few times, believing these brands are social responsible because they offer trendy and affordable clothing. However, this belief hides many serious social costs behind the fast fashion industry. This so-called social responsibility is often a myth supported by ratings, but the reality is very different. Firstly, brands emphasize that their factories in developing countries, such as Bangladesh and Vietnam, help improve local economies, but in reality, many operate as sweatshops. To maintain low prices, production is outsourced to countries with weak labor laws, leading to extremely low prices. Secondly, female workers face severe exploitation. According to Oxfam, fast fashion workers are mostly women, and 97% of brands do not pay a living wage. Working hours can reach 16 hours or more, and issues such as sexual harassment and physical violence have been reported in factories. As you can see, while fast fashion allows consumers to enjoy cheap trends, it hides serious social problems such as labor exploitation, gender inequality, and unfair wages. It reveals that the idea of fast fashion is largely a myth. However, the problem does not stop here, as fast fashion also creates serious environmental damage.
while the social impact shows how workers are affected, fast fashion also creates serious consequences that are often hidden from consumers. Have you noticed how quickly people throw away clothes today? Since the 1990s, fast fashion has grown rapidly, with brands such as Zara and Forever 21 producing millions of tons of production each year. However, how do companies stay trendy while keeping prices so low? Behind this lies another hidden issue: environmental pollution. Many people believe fast fashion is cheap, fashionable, trendy, and even recyclable with little environmental impact. However, the reality is different. Because clothing is expensive, companies often do not prioritize quality. So items are not made to last long and are easily damaged. In addition, some brands release up to 42 collections per year, causing overproduction and increasing textile waste when trends change. Although some clothing lines are advertised as sustainable, most fast fashion products eventually become waste, producing millions of tons of production each year. In 2019, the UN reported that the fast fashion industry was one of the most polluting industries, second only to aviation. Manufacturers rely heavily on scarce natural resources while producing short-lived clothing, leading to large amounts of textile waste and worsening the global climate series. Fast fashion also causes chemical pollution that contaminates water and food sources while reducing soil fertility. According to Greenpeace and Economist Observatory, only about 3% of materials are reused if possible. Some people ask, why don't we simply recycle old clothes? The process is complex and expensive. Clothes must be sorted, non-recycled parts removed, and fabrics broken down into fibers. These environmental consequences show that Fast fashion is not only a social issue, but also a global problem affecting everyone. This leads to why this issue matters and what can be done.
Fast fashion may seem convenient and affordable, but its impact goes far beyond clothing, affecting both people and the planet. However, the impact is not limited to individuals. Consumers should care because fast fashion can affect health through harmful chemicals such as formaldehyde and azo dyes. In addition, clothes are often worn only a few times before thrown away, leading to higher long-term spending. Society should also care because fast fashion increases pollution, creates enormous waste, and supports systems where workers are underpaid and exploited. Over time, these issues both affect the environment and people's lives globally. At a broader level, governments also play a key role by creating stricter laws to regulate production. For example, they can reduce pollution and require companies to reduce pollution. And some countries are already taking action. In Sweden, clothing recycling and second-hand fashion are widely supported, reducing textile waste. In Japan, reusing and donating clothes is common, extending clothing life cycles. In the United Kingdom, brands such as Stella McCartney and Peopletree promote sustainable materials and fair labor practices. Governments can also inspect factories more strictly and create a rating system for clothing brands, similar to food safety rating, to let consumers understand the environmental impact. Without these rules, companies will continue to prioritize profit. Real change requires government enforcement, but individuals also play a role. Consumers can choose better quality clothing, support responsible brands, and reuse or donate items instead of discarding them. Ultimately, although fast fashion is a global issue, meaningful change is only possible through shared responsibility between governments, industries, and individuals. So, in conclusion, fast fashion remains a global issue with serious consequences for both society and the environment.
It causes pollution, excessive waste, and unfair treatment of workers across the industry. Both governments and individuals must take responsibility to address these challenges.
Every purchase we make is a choice between supporting fast fashion as it exists today, or helping to make a more responsible future.
我是陈怡婷，我是陆品珍。
我是 Darren。
Thanks for listening.